I'm willing to bet there's a lot of resellers like myself out there that could benefit from this one tip I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you some proof as to why most resellers should be doing it. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flippin' Ain't Easy, and I've been kind of looking forward to making this video. I've been talking about it on the live streams for a while, but it's simply this. Most eBay sellers out there could benefit from the information I'm going to tell you, and actually I'm going to go into more detail than I ever have before, because if you're just selling on eBay, you are missing out on other opportunities to make money other than just what's in front of you on eBay. And more specifically, I'm talking about cross-listing, cross-posting. Now, I could say that, this video is tailored to just those resellers who sell a wide variety of goods, but really, you could be a niche seller and still be able to take advantage of cross-listing. Like, for instance, if you're a niche seller and you sell in the collectibles category, you could cross-list over to Etsy, right? But today, I'm going to talk to you and show you more about what I'm doing, and that's Mercari. So what I've been doing over the last month is I've been using Prime Lister, and you guys know that I partnered with them about a month ago. That's kind of what got me into this, because they approached me and let me know about the tool that they continue to work on. And this is not a sponsored video by Prime Lister, even though they sponsor the channel. This is just how passionate I feel about this process. So I don't care if you're utilizing them or any other service. It's a good idea to get your stuff out in front of other buyers. I didn't really realize the power of cross-listing. I tried it last year with the VA. I made some sales, but I didn't think the cost benefits. I think I spent like $100 to make 300. $100 for the VA and their time, and that just didn't work out for me. With the cross-lister, you spend like 30, 40 bucks a month, depending on the plan that you use. And if you use other services, I think there's some free ones out there with a lot of bugs. There's one that's like everyone talks about, and that's like a lot more expensive, right? You're basically paying a lot more money for a lot of the same tools that the bigger company is charging you for. But I don't care. Like I said, I use Prime Lister, and any tool you use is going to be better than just doing it manually. So what I want to show you is what I did in July, from July 1st to the end of the month, and the impact that it's basically had on me. I mean, I didn't have that great of a sales month on eBay. Having Mercari sort of offset the sales that I wasn't getting on eBay, it really did help a little bit for me. And I think there's a lot of you out there who are really struggling on making sales. I think there's a reason for some of us why we're not making sales. And I'm going to get to that here, because I think we're kind of spinning our wheels with some of the items that we're selling. And so let's go over to my computer and we'll talk about it more in detail over there. I want to just show you what I've done here. Now, these are the orders that I still haven't gotten paid for yet, because most of them are in transit and they're waiting for the buyer to receive it and to give me a rating. You can see I have 111 items that have been completed, and I can tell you that a good portion of those are since I've started with Prime Lister, cross-listing over from eBay. And as you can see here, let's take a look at some things here. Let me look at this Christmas string lights that I sold recently, and taking the first 5 words of the title, and I don't have the greatest titles here to show you, but let's go ahead and copy paste that over to eBay, because I want to show you something here. Look at how many results come up for that. 975 items are for sale using Christmas string lights, 200 LED, 66 feet. Look at how many listings that if you had any of these items to sell, you'd be competing with on eBay. 94 results that for solds. So 94 sold items, okay? And let's take a look at Mercari. Let's just get an idea of what's going on with Mercari here. Same search terms, and you can see it's just that right there. Now, the row down below isn't what we're selling. We're talking 21 listings, and my string lights are right there. And I think what we got, 5, 6, 8, 9 solds out of 21 listings. That's pretty pretty good ratio. Let's go down to this other item I sold. It's an electronic safe box. It's just a little safe that you store like personal items in. And I sold that for $30 on Mercari. And let's search for that same title on eBay. So there's 5 results that have been sold in the last 90 days. Okay, 5 results. And what we're going to do is we're going to check and see how many items are actually currently up for sale. There's 56. Okay, so that's about 1 out of every 10, 1 out of every 11 on eBay is selling within the last 90 days. It's not the greatest item to have on eBay. But take a look here. We have 3 items that have sold out of what, 10? That's pretty decent. And there's not a whole lot of competition. You notice there's only 10 items that have been listed under that search term. Let's take another item here, a floating shelves. And I get a lot of these in my pallets, floating shelves, right? They tend to move somewhat slowly on eBay. I sell them every once in a while. But let's take a look. You have over 4,000 live active listings right now for floating shelves. Now I have floating shelves, rustic wood, but just imagine, I'm using rustic wood in my title. Can you imagine all the different variations of floating shelves? 323 out of 4,000+ have sold in the last 90 days. That's a slow sell-through rate for that type of item. So let's plug that into Mercari. There's a lot of items here under floating shelves. I was surprised about this. I've sold about 3 different sets of floating shelves. You can see there's a lot of different ones, and not all of these are rustic wood. You see a lot of solds on here. You see, look at all the solds that are popping up. Each one of these show that they've been sold. No results because I think it's looking for that title specifically. So let's take a look and break it down to just floating shelves. So I'll remove some of these search terms here just to see what we get. Now it gives you 673 results that come up with a general search that includes the solds. The solds are 473, I think. I can't really see that too well. I apologize. And as far as what's listed, there's over 999. So that's all they report. But I can tell you, it's nowhere near 4,000. Let's jump over to my Excel spreadsheet. This is a report that Mercari has given me for the month of July, and I'll kind of expand it so you can see it here. So these are all the sales that I have. You can see I have about, I believe it's like 41, 42 sales for the month of July. Some are still in progress. They have not been received by the buyer. Nothing I can do about that. But that's $563 after fees, $713 in sales. So after Mercari takes their fees, $563.41. So what I want to show you here is pretty much the average sale is somewhere between, I'd say $10, $20 is the average sale price. As you can see, 32.11, 10, 16, 10, 12, 10, 9, 17, 40. So you're looking at about 15, 20 is your average sale price. Now, for most of my listings, this is just the item itself. So for any of you who've been following me or continually watch my videos, you'll know that July has been a bad month. Up until this last weekend, it was really a bad month. I think I was down like 20, 25%. Well, I generated like 8 to 10% in sales of what I normally do on eBay, and that 8 to 10% really does help. I'm sure that most of you guys can use an extra few $100, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 bucks over and above what you normally make on eBay. And here's the problem, and I wanted you to see the data before I kind of went into this. Here's the problem. The difference between eBay and Mercari is one thing that I can think of. And we're not talking about traffic, because to me it doesn't really matter. eBay can have 10 times the amount of traffic than Mercari, but as you see, they have a lot more listings, a lot more for buyers to choose from, and you're in that sea of listings with your one listing for that particular item, as compared to Mercari, where you're up against a smaller group of people. And why is that? Well, it's because, of course, eBay is a bigger platform. Let's just put that out there. But eBay is way bigger because of the fact they allow drop shippers. Now, it's taboo with eBay. It's been taboo for a while. They'll tell you until they're blue in the face that they do not want drop shippers on their platform. But they allow the APIs, that's a little handshake between eBay and these third-party programs. It's called an API. They connect with each other and it hooks into eBay. These third-party programs that dropshippers use allow them to do all this stuff. And they'll go into like Amazon, Walmart, or whatever, take an item, and they'll say, ooh, I want this on my eBay store. This program will take all the photos, all the descriptions, and we're talking stock photos, and just move them right into an eBay listing. And if on this website the item sells out, in about 10 to 15 minutes, their item shows as sold out on eBay. And it does all this for them. They never have to carry any inventory. Sounds like a great process, but a lot of these drop shippers are only making like 5 to 10%, which is why they carry a large volume of items in their store. So you have thousands of other people doing this drop shipping, not just in the United States, but around the world. And if you're selling that toaster that you picked up in a liquidation lot, you're up against all these other sellers that don't even have the item. Now that sucks for you and I, and that makes it harder for us to sell, because our buyer, our potential buyer we're waiting for, has to guide their way through this sea of listings and hopefully end up to your item. And when you're up against that type of competition, and I'm talking against, say, drop shippers, it's going to be tough to make that sale, and that item is going to sit there for a while. It's not to say you can't sell those kind of items, a lot of your Amazon liquidation items, that type of thing, but I'm finding that a lot of your $10, $15, $20, $25 items that have drop shipper competition, and you could tell a drop shipper by simply clicking on their listing. You see all their photos are stock photos, pretty much copies from like Amazon or Walmart. They have these nice fancy templates. All the information is the same information that's on Amazon or Walmart, Home Depot, you name it. So you really can't do anything about that. eBay's not going to do anything about it, because they are going to lose. If they just pulled the plug on these APIs, they could do it tomorrow and just basically say, we know that this is a drop shipping program, we know that's a drop shipping program, and we're going to disconnect eBay from those third-party programs, and that would end the whole drop shipping thing. But as you guys have guessed it, if they get rid of 20%, 25%, I'm being conservative, I think the number's higher than that, they get rid of 20 to 25% of their sellers who happen to be drop shippers, think they're going to make money as a result? I think they're going to lose even more. So while they want to tell everyone in the world that, hey, we don't allow drop shipping, they're still allowing it to happen. That's why these drop shippers can get away with using stock photos. And, they may get a Vero here and there when the brand reaches out, and they'll work with the brand. But for the most part, these drop shippers are getting away with doing something that's frowned upon by eBay. And it's all because of the money. So isn't that great? Doesn't that make you feel good? Now, you take that same item and you cross-list it over to, in my case, Mercari. You're not up against drop shippers because they don't allow that stuff to happen. So you're up against organic sellers who actually physically have the item. It's an even playing field, okay? And that's why my items are just flying off the shelf. As you saw, I had 42 items sell in July. Now, one thing you got to know, it was like a 700 item store on eBay. And that's not that big of a store, but I only had like 150 to 200 items that I've cross-posted over to Mercari as well. So can you imagine only 42 sales in the last month? That's a little over one a day. Can you imagine if I tripled that? I would think the numbers game would at least say I'm going to have at least double the sales. Might be 80, 90. Now, there's a process I use, and I think I've spoken about it. I really don't want to get into that here because it doesn't take a whole lot of time. I add it to my daily routine, and it allows me to do 15, 20, 25 a day. And I'm slowly but surely getting most of my items over from eBay to Mercari. Now, I won't move all my items from eBay to Mercari because I think there's some items, like the more expensive items, that just don't do as well on Mercari for whatever reason, and I'm not going to really mess with those. But, again, you don't even have to be an everything seller like me to really take advantage of a cross-lister program. If you're a collector seller and you have all your stuff on eBay, there's Etsy sitting right over there. You can move your stuff over to Etsy. And again, you're not going to get the same ratio of sales that you're seeing on eBay. But even if you can supplement your current sales by, say, 8, 9, 10, 15%, I think the Monster Loon was saying how you need to get all your stuff over to Mercari because they're really doing well right now. I may be wrong about the exact viewer, so I apologize if I made that mistake. But I know one of you guys told me, hey, get your stuff up because they're killing it over there. And I only have a third of my store up there, and I'm making a ton of sales. If you guys look at my Instagram account, I posted over the weekend just a ton of stuff that I shipped. I think I had 14 items of that were just from Mercari. So, guys, I'm telling you that I think it's an overlooked thing. I think that sometimes we think, this YouTuber just wants to sell me on this product. Again, you can use the, I just said, sell you on this product, and here I go. You can use the code down below to get a 14-day trial. You don't have to give them a credit card, right? 14 days, they give you 100 listings, I think, for free. I think that's where you max out. They give you 100 items that you can cross-post from eBay over to Mercari or to any of the other sites. There's Poshmark, Etsy, you name it. So if you do clothing, you can do Poshmark. I'm saving my clothing listings. I haven't moved those over because I want to move them both at the same time to Mercari and Posh. And I kind of just want to do all the clothing and shoes and that kind of thing all in one shot. So it's kind of the same thing. So I haven't done that yet. But you can do it, okay? And you get 30% off your first month if you decide to give them the credit card and continue with Prime Lister. Look, I think it's an awesome thing. I don't blow smoke up your guys' butt. I don't. I give you the honest truth. And honestly, it took me some time to make this video because I wanted to be able to bring you at least a month's worth of data to show you how it's impacting me. Again, I think if you make an extra $300, $400, $500, $600 in a month, that can make a difference for some of you guys. And I think we do the reselling because we're just trying to pay our bills, right? We're trying to make it work. And you don't have to dedicate but maybe 30 minutes a day extra for this process. And I can make a video on that if you guys want to talk about my exact process, and I can show you exactly what I do. But it's really not that involved. When you're porting over a listing from eBay to Mercari with a tool, like I said, doesn't have to be Prime Lister. You are simply moving all your photos. The program's doing it all for you, and all you have to do is go in and make sure the category is correct, make sure the brand is correct, and make sure that you have the correct weight and dimensions for your package, okay? And then you make sure the price looks right and fire away. And a lot of times what I like about Mercari is they're actually giving the buyer a pretty good deal on shipping and cutting them a good deal, and you can just let them charge the buyer for shipping, and they're just paying you the cost of the item. So works for me. Again, I don't know if it will work for you or not, but if we're doing the same thing over and over again and we're expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. So you got to take the risk sometimes, and why not just try 100 items for free in the next 2 weeks? Use the code down below and give it a shot. So guys, what do you think? Comments down below. Let me know, what are you doing differently? If your sales are slow on eBay, how are you supplementing the slow sales that you're seeing? Are you working a side gig? Are you cross-listing like I am? Put the comments down below. Let me know exactly how you're getting through. I'm encouraged. Like I said, I had a great sales weekend over the weekend. Of course, that was partially utilizing Mercari, but guess what? I mean, we're talking like I think a $1,600 sales weekend from Friday till Monday, and I'm counting Monday in that weekend, but really a 4-day span where I made a pretty good amount of money, and that's kind of where I want to be. Now, I don't think that's going to happen all the time. It gives me hope that I do the right things. I continue to improve my store. I continue to do the things that work and avoid the things that don't. And sometimes things work differently for all of us, so you got to find what works for you. It's that mentality you have to succeed. If you have this, I'm on an island, I'm going to set it and forget it, I'm going to try to get as many listings up as I can and never look at them again, and then just keep bringing more stuff and more stuff, you're going to have a low sell-through rate in your store, and you're going to be wondering, I got all these items listed, why am I not selling it? And it's because you're not doing the things you need to do to maintain your existing stock. And part of that is cross-listing. Trust me on that. So guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell, because many of you guys know I like to go live like 3 hours before I go. Just the way I roll. Thankfully you guys are still there with me when I do. We have to be creative in this business. We cannot be stuck in doing things the same way that we did last year or the year before. You have to be open to finding ways to get your items in front of other buyers. And eBay isn't it. I mean, yeah, that's a good place to start. That's a good base to have, but you need to start branching out to other platforms if you really want to do well. Some people are killing it just on eBay, don't get me wrong, but for others like us, that extra 8 to 10 to 15% in sales could make a huge difference. But yet, guess what? It's just another example of how flipping ain't easy, and I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your week, and we will talk to you very soon.